Attention. The movie guys love movies. Any comments about a less talented protege who struggles but fails to live up to the career of Will Smith are purely for entertainment purposes only. Isn't that right, DJ Jazzy Jeff?
Parents just don't understand.
That's how you start the show. I'm afraid.
DJ Jazzy Jeff is somewhere going, yes, give me that residual check.
Right out of the gates, he's getting shrapnel.
Yeah.
DJ Jazzy Jeff thrown under the bus for no particular reason.
He's just home, minding his own business, watching Arrested Development like the rest of us.
You give him a lot of credit that he has a home.
Oh!
Zing!
Oh.
Do you think he hates Jaden Smith?
I would. I totally would.
And
I hate Jaden Smith, and I don't,
Right?
And do you think there's like a DJ Jazzy Jaden out there? Like his kid doing something?
His kid would really hate Jaden.
DJ Jazzy
Dude, a
Jaden.
competing movie for this with DJ Jazzy Jeff's kid. When do we write that sketch? All right, let's write it right now. Before we get the show going, let's just get on that. That's too good a sketch to not pursue.
All right, welcome to the Movie Showcast, everybody, part of the vast and sprawling Movie Guys empire. You've reached ground zero for all things movies and comedy. We bring the two together right here on our show every week with rants, sketches, previews, characters, jokes, bits, and more. So you can expect that in the next hour as we look at all the newest releases in theaters. But fear not, no spoilers.
I am fearless, Paul.
And, we've only seen the trailers like you guys. But let me give you a couple of things here, because we've only been in the new setup here at the Admirals Club in Burbank for a couple of weeks now.
Our new studio.
So let me remind everyone where you can find us. You can catch our show on iTunes, on SoundCloud, and if you'd like to see the show, it's a video podcast too. You can find us on YouTube and watch us there. Search The Movie Guys or The Movie Showcast and any of those sites, and we come right up. And, of course, themovieguys.net is our permanent home for all of our shenanigans. Not just the Showcast, but weekly reviews and articles and various appearances across the radio and internet world. I'm Paul Preston with Karen Volpe, Lee Kais, and Adam Witt. And first up today, we're going to be previewing Kid and Play in After Earth. I think that's who's...
I ran into Kid.
I've seen the poster, I'm pretty sure.
How did you know?
That's
always amazing.
You're
People
right.
recognize celebrities. You're like, hey, it's the guy from House Party.
You're right. It might have been Play. I don't know. But it was the one with the cone head.
Did he still have the cone head?
No, he didn't. But I ran into him at Barney's Beanery in West Hollywood.
Oh, that'll do it.
Christopher Kidd Reed wrote the theme to Real Time with Bill Maher.
Really?
There's your factoid of the day.
Is that Kid? Is that the one I met?
Yeah, it is.
That's the one I met. Okay.
Oh, so he's still making scratch.
Still out there doing it.
Yeah, making it happen.
He's with two notes. Okay.
You know how many theme songs I've written?
No.
None. So he's.
Oh my God. I know
You
the
were
guy.
way below Alan Thicke.
Hang on.
Defending Chris Reed.
You guys are going to love this shit. Here we go. I'm going to throw this down. It's a bad boy. My friend wrote by Menon, sent his kids to college.
Wow.
On a dare, somebody said, oh, can you write a theme song with, I think, 3 notes? Da, da, da.
Stanza.
And he did it. And then it's by Menon.
Yes, it's just that easy.
Yeah.
But yet you set out to do it and you just can't.
You just can't.
It's like watching an airplane movie. I could write that.
No.
You can't touch
Now
that.
that the Jaws theme has been written, allow me to write it. Dun, dun. That's it.
Right? Yeah.
Repeat.
Just loop that.
Repeat.
Hey, if it was a Beyonce session, that's all she'd come in and do is just just repeat that.
All
over
right.
and over.
And copy and paste.
Well, as you can see,
Rihanna.
I mentioned After Earth, and all we did was talk about it. But we will a bit later. But the second half of the show is going to be awesome with our special guest, Mike J. Nichols. We're going to spend the whole half hour talking about the 30th anniversary of Return of the Jedi.
Great.
That's
Great person
cool.
to have
So
on.
we're going to
When's
get
that
our
happening?
geek on.
When's the 30th anniversary?
They think that actually the date was the 25th.
Oh, it's like
We'll
now.
have Mike tell us all
It's-
that
it's
because
not-
I'm not the expert.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got a thumbs up that it's the 25th.
Oh, yeah, Mike is here. All right. So, but
Well, we
later
locked
in the
him
show,
in the garage,
later in the
so-
show, we're going to talk about this. Oh wait, no, we're not.
I can't
Is
wait.
this a test show?
They're all test shows.
Hey, what you
Paul.
got to do is you got to turn the volume up, and then you can hear it much better.
What are we
Hey-o.
Come in close, because the more you think you see, the easier it'll be to fool you.
No, that Morgan.
Now
is
you
so
see me.
exciting.
Now you see me. Movie about magic.
I love that you add him or what's it, Alfred, the butler. I can't think of his name offhand.
Michael Caine?
Michael Caine, who are both in this magicians movie. You add them to it, and it's like, oh, this premise actually makes a whole lot of sense, and there's nothing ridiculous about this at all.
But if,
like it just all of a sudden, it's instantly.
But hang on, if Kid and Play did it, no.
It could be a story about an
Yes.
Aboriginal
thank
Tell
you,
us.
tribe, and some people who come in to collect their farts. But you'd be like, Morgan Freeman and Michael Caine, that's got to be a real good movie.
Aboriginal
Why?
fart
That makes
collection.
a whole lot
be
of
some
sense.
prestigious shit going on. I'm going to that movie.
Wow, he seems pissed.
The Aboriginal fart collector.
This is going to be the longest show ever. How long have we?
That
we
was
haven't,
the original
we haven't
title.
flipped.
Well, let's get to the
We
first
haven't
bit.
even got through the introduction.
I know.
Let's get to the first bit.
We had used to on Toe Top. We had to come in at an
In an
hour.
hour, yeah. We're not.
And now it's like,
But let's get to our next segment. A little something called "What Did You See This Week?"
What did you see? What did you see this week?
Well, like everybody, we saw Arrested Development.
Kids, that was a movie projector with film in it. Google it. Google it. It's out there. For your records. What did we see this week? Let's do a little round table.
I passed over seeing Star Trek again. I could have seen it. I was out of town until Tuesday night, and the first time I had a chance to watch anything, and I passed it up to go home and watch Arrested Development.
Wait, well, let me be clear though. Not to see Star Trek again, but you passed it up
No,
again.
I still
So you
haven't seen it.
You're that guy.
So there it was. I finally had the chance, because we wrote last night, and tonight we're recording, and so I had one night of pop culture, and I chose Arrested
But you
Development.
spent that well.
And that was
Well, I mean, it is Arrested Development, the movie. It still is a movie, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, The Sopranos was a movie, kind of.
It's
I mean, it
Arrested
was
Development, the Herald now.
Yeah, man, that thing is super impressive. Now, I'm not going to talk out of school because I don't know how many episodes
I've only
you saw.
seen the 4 episodes. I saw a Ron Howard one last night.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't even say that. It was great that nobody spoiled that.
There's
for
a
me.
Ron Howard one?
shut up.
Oh, great.
But they, that
Actually, who hasn't seen it? I'm the one. Yeah.
that is a super impressive return for that show, man. It's because it has such a slow build. Some people, I think, might see the first episode and go, not for me.
can see
Lacks
that.
the zip of what it had before until the whole first episode makes sense in episodes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They refer to every episode and every other episode. It's unbelievable.
What a great storytelling device. I mean, we all were hoping it would be good, but to create this new version of storytelling, a genius way that's complete. Like the show itself was unlike anything else. It was this amazing, crazy form of storytelling, and here it's not doing that. It's doing a whole new thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Balls. Big balls.
I mean, the show just gets better and better.
I saw a hilarious comedy, Fast and Furious 6, which didn't have the story structure of Arrested Development. Had a very simple, but to be honest with you, Fast and Furious 6, they took the if it ain't broke, don't fix it approach, and that works.
It was called Fast and Furious 6. They weren't trying to fool anybody.
They were
That's
not.
true.
Like, look,
No.
this is what you're getting.
Yeah, and it's minimal, important dialogue, thin relationships, and then they take that never mind that shit, here comes Mongo attitude. And then Mongo comes in. It's this kick-ass action sequence with cars and smashing shit and amazing stunts. Amazing stunts that you see. Justin Lin is a good action director in that respect. Like, these stunts pay off when the people are risking their lives to do them. You get to see them up on the screen. They're not being too crazy cut around. At least that's from my
cool.
memory.
That is a
I felt like I
perfect
took it in. So.
Perfect transition to what I saw, which was from the director of Moulin Rouge, which is completely, you can't see what anybody's doing, so why did they even bother to learn the choreography? But I saw Strictly Ballroom.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
The movie that gave us Baz Luhrmann.
Yes. I really liked it. I thought it was good. I could see it. I could see the dancing. I could see the little world that he creates. I definitely saw precursors to Moulin Rouge in there. Like the little dance studio itself has all these levels, and they dance up near some sort of big Coca-Cola sign and stuff. And that was actually kind of neat to see the way they did product placement back in the day when they weren't being completely obvious. It was more subtle and kind of arty. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, so if you ever saw one of his later films and went, damn, I wish that dude would just calm down, go see Strictly
Go see
Ballroom.
Strictly
Wish
Ballroom.
granted.
Or
Yeah.
go see.
But at the time, what is it, 92?
was even
Something
later.
like
I
that?
thought it was more like
94?
98, actually. No?
Really? I don't know if it was that late.
Yeah. It was a Miramax movie, so it was a while
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
It wasn't Weinstein Company. But yeah, that was pretty decent for me, who doesn't necessarily like his sense of humor in his movies. This was all sense of humor, and it still was charming.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we saw Mud.
Oh yeah, that was
What is
really
Mud?
good.
Particularly upset at Matthew McConaughey.
Takes his shirt off.
Oh, that
The
one.
movie.
I think we've pretty much covered
Thank
that
you.
in film.
No,
All
he
right,
was
so
great.
that's
I wanna-
what-
I did
He was
see
great.
something. I saw
What?
Revenge of the Sith, the third Star Wars movie, which I had
Star
said
Wars
earlier,
themed show.
which is actually not a bad movie. Now, granted, I was doing laundry, clipping my toenails, and it was on in the background, but I think that movie still has some merit to it.
Anytime you do personal hygiene, it makes a movie better.
There was a lot of
anytime.
man grooming going on, but
That
you know.
does it.
Yeah, we
yeah.
can take you to your word on that, though, because that's how you see most movies. From every story you tell me, well, this thing was on in the background. It's pretty damn good. I had Robert De Niro in it.
And let's hope that when you go to an actual Cineplex, you don't do the toenail thing.
From
Well,
what
not
I,
anymore. No.
From what I gather, this Marlon Brando is kind of like a fatherly figure to all these people. I don't know. They seemed pretty upset when he died.
Yeah, they dressed up, so I figured I'd leave it on.
Then again, I was trimming my nose hairs, so I wasn't really able to pay attention. But
I mean, a tuxedo. What am I going to turn it off? They went through some trouble.
He bathed, please.
That's what we saw this week. But with the nasty streak of uneven films recently put out by M. Night Shyamalan, will After Earth be something we see this week? I don't know.
No.
But we will prepare ourselves, and you, Adam, please help me preview the latest effort from Will Smith and his ongoing effort to make us love his children as much as he does. For every Armageddon, there's a deep impact. For every Bug's Life, an Ant's. And so it is with the movie Marketplace's follow-up to last month's Oblivion, starring Tom Cruise. It's another post-apocalyptic sci-fi vanity vehicle, After Earth.
This movie features Will Smith, who stars alongside human embodiment of his own ego, Jada Pinkett Smith, a creature genetically engineered to contain all of his mother's box office draw and none of his father's charm. The plot?
Oh, Adam,
Contains-
did you say you want to hear the plot?
Yeah.
I would be more than happy to make it plain to Will Smith fans out there. All right? We're going to do it like this. DJ,
Yeah, here
it's
we
time
go.
to get jiggy.
Oh, well, you know, I think our listeners actually might want to hear the
Uh,
actual plot of it. I was
yeah.
just going to...
A ship crash lands on Earth one day, but the emergency beacon is 100 miles away. Dad tells son on this scary trip, you go fight the Earth, I'm gonna wait on the ship. With animals as enemies, what's left to do? A hyper-drama version of We Bought a Zoo. Another Shyamalan film don't go as planned, where there's no need to argue. M. Night just don't understand. Word. Listen.
you're not going to make
That's
Adam
all I
rap,
got.
are you?
You think I crossed over?
No, that's
You know
really
what?
well done.
I
Okay.
liked that, and I think I don't need to see the movie.
Sorry, Adam, you were
Thank
saying.
Yes.
For all the suburban listeners out there, here also is the plot. The movie takes place 1,000 years after humans have abandoned Earth after Obama's healthcare plan left the planet uninhabitable. Earth has established Nova Prime, a colony outside our solar system, kept safe by the peacekeeping force, the Ranger Corps, led by Will Smith's militaristic Cypher Rage.
Cypher Rage? I'm pretty sure he was a character in Rock of Ages.
Yeah, sure. Nice name, I guess. Mysterious anger and cryptic pent-up frustration were taken. Anyway, Rage pushes his son to be the best, while failing at his emotional duties as a father.
But when their ship is destroyed by an asteroid, killing all aboard except the two most famous, the injured Great Santini of 3013 must guide his fuck-up son to an emergency beacon on the other side of a hostile planet. This planet, like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, exists only to destroy humanity.
The Smiths wander this unpopulated Earth only to discover Tom Cruise is the only other person alive, and together they reboot Earth as a Scientology utopia.
Will Smith isn't a Scientologist, is he?
He's been on Oprah a lot. So.
Yeah.
Well, from the looks of the trailer, this movie seems to be about a father who has little faith in his only son. The not proud dad metaphorically and literally throws his only begotten to the wolves, while he sits back and clucks his tongue and shakes his head in doubting disapproval as his son fights to stay alive, while trying to earn his father's love and approval. Kind of sounds like my first and only year in Little League.
If the father-son dynamic in this movie is at all an indication of how these two interact in real life, and why wouldn't it be, then the recent news of Jaden's desire to be emancipated from his parents just might have some legitimacy to it.
I think the Smiths are performing one of the most elaborate crossfades in Hollywood history. Will Smith will start acting and performing less. Jaden Pinkett Smith will keep acting and performing more until the son just morphs right into the father without anybody noticing.
I worry about a film where Will Smith doesn't smile once in the trailer. You know, it seems like the father and son are trying to outscowl each other.
Also worrying, Will and Jaden may be using dialects. It's tough to tell. Which is also not a good sign.
Naming your character Cypher Rage is like naming your movie Epic.
What the hell is
What is that?
So who would ever direct a movie with a lead character named Cypher Rage? Why, M. Night Shyamalan, of course.
You know, when we said this film was directed by M. Night Shyamalan, we might have been letting people in on that for the first time, because they've conveniently left that off of the preview.
For those of our listeners not old enough to remember when TVs took two people to move, M. Night Shyamalan became the Alfred Hitchcock of the 90s by stringing together several masterpieces of science fiction, with Bruce Willis is Dead, Bruce Willis Can't Be Hurt, Aliens Invade Mel Gibson's Religious Quandary, and William Hurt Hates Electricity.
So then, with the director of The Sixth Sense and The Village at the helm, what's the twist here?
Will Smith died in the crash.
They were on Mars the whole time.
It'll be good.
There you go. There's a twist.
It'll be good. That would be a twist. You see, cuz.
You know, we often...
You see, kids, because he's directed some shitty movies.
No shortage of material about that.
I was going to say, we often go on far too long about movies that aren't deserving, and
That was a lot.
we've
Can you please
circled
tell
the
us
block on that
what
one.
that Cypher Rage thing is?
Yeah.
Because it's killing
man's
me.
name.
and don't play it again.
No, you don't have to play it.
That's the man's name.
But what
That's-
does that drop? What's the drop?
It sounds like a guy from Rock of Ages, so I made a rock and roll cipher.
That
Rage
is
name.
you?
So that is you? Oh, wow. Play it again.
I honestly thought that was
I hear it.
now play it again.
Celebrity
Oh,
child.
I'm on to the
That's
next
me.
bit, you sons of bitches.
That's not me.
Put it.
All right, here we go.
All right.
You're welcome, America.
Wow.
Stupid. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
And that is the last time you get to use that.
I'm stupid, or the name is stupid.
The name is
What name would that
so
be?
stupid.
What name? We have to use that as much as possible because I don't know when we'll use that again.
That's the end of it.
That is the end of
Oh
that. And
my
so, is
God.
anyone going to go see this?
No.
Why
I
would
mean, out of the four people here, because
No.
people will go and see Will Smith.
Yeah, I've got so much more to see. I still got to see Pain
You
and
have to
Gain
see
before I see
Star
this.
Trek.
I have to see Star Trek, for Christ's
Yeah.
sake.
I got
For Spock's sake.
I got free tickets to Gatsby. Probably going to go to that.
I thought
Go
you
to
already
it.
saw that. Did
No,
you see it?
he reported
I saw
on
it.
that.
Oh,
one.
you saw that.
And his
right.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Cypher.
But I was on such a strictly ballroom high.
But
Now
it's
I'm
in
gonna
3D.
I'm going to be crushed now.
But it's in 3D, so.
I've seen Star Trek. That's how behind the times you are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly.
And-
Lee's seen
And you
Star
could give
Trek
a
I
shit.
haven't.
I could give a shit, and I want to report that it's a much better movie than the other J.J. Abrams, if for no other reason than it's got at least 70% lens flare, less lens flare.
Yeah.
Almost
I
70%
swear
lens
to
Much
God,
like-
we need
much-
a segment that you. As soon as he starts doing that, it's like Grandpa talks.
What, you don't know what lens flare is?
I'm just saying. I liked it
I don't like-
because I don't like things.
I thought they was shooting at me. Turns out it was the lights making them crazy lens flares.
Lens flares and 3D wasn't meant to be together. It's against nature, I tells you.
We shouldn't even be in space. These people having that adventures.
I promise you, people will thank me for that.
I am surprised you saw that before, Adam.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was actually a much better movie than I thought. All the characters were much more developed. I thought the interaction between. See, I'm not complaining about anything.
Grandpa Ray.
Grandpa Ray.
You know, I thought we were.
Now,
I thought we were in the nest. Is this not the
usually-
nest?
No, it is.
We're not
You're
in the
right.
comfort. Not. We're not safe here.
You're safe.
Okay.
It's very, very safe.
You could say the safe word is Kayana-Scotzi.
You say that, and we'll leave you alone. Cypher.
What must it be like to be given a film? Like,
You mean
know,
Jaden?
like Will's, yeah.
I had to weed the garden,
Merry
and all I
Christmas.
got was a baseball mitt.
Oh, that's
And I had to
nice.
pay the last $7 to get it.
$10 says Jaden Smith hasn't weeded the garden.
You know,
Seriously, I asked my dad for a baseball mitt, and it was like $30, and somehow he came to the decision that weeding the garden was only $23 worth of work. So you better come up with the other $7, kid.
that's awesome. I like your dad. I think that's awesome.
You know how I knew when it was time to move out of the house? When I came home and my side of the dinner table was pushed up against the wall.
You sit on the floor and you like it.
This sort of is explaining things
No.
to me now. It's kind of clear.
Was your dad named Cypher Rage?
You're gonna you're gonna know when your time here is done because you're gonna come in and your seat's gonna be flipped upside down, and the little wheels are gonna be spinning.
And you'll be like, damn it.
That
You'll have some horrible
the scene
flashback.
from The Jerk. Put that chair away. It's just too damn sad. They lean out the window and he's just outside there still hitchhiking.
All right, well, listen.
Let's be done with this.
M.
With
Night
Jaden
Shyamalan.
and Willow Smith being
Yes.
thrust upon us, we are reminded of how goofy celebrity names can be. For more, we go to Karen.
Listeners, I'm sure you've noticed, as we have here at the Movie Guys headquarters, that more and more celebrities are naming their children very non-traditional names. From numbers like Erykah Badu's son, Seven, to musical instruments like Rachel Griffith's son, Banjo. Long gone are the days of good old Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Wait, Harry is an Andy Dick's kid's name? Harry Dick? Nothing? All right, go on.
It's comments like that got us at the Movie Guys thinking. The only reason you would name your child something so peculiar as, say, Blue Ivy, as in the case of Beyonce and Jay-Z's daughter, whose name they patented, or Moxie Crime Fighter, as in the case of Penn Jillette's daughter, which I think is very cool, by the way, is because your famous children are just another accessory for you to show off in public in the hopes of drawing attention to yourself. But what good are these living, breathing Louis Vuitton handbags if nobody can remember their names, or worse yet, can't even tell if it's a child? So, we sent Lee and Adam out onto the streets of Hollywood to test the public's knowledge and the names of celebrity offspring in a little segment we like to call
Celebrity child or ...
There you go.
It's no cipher rage, but
Celebrity Tot?
Celebrity child or...
Oh, child.
It was just supposed to be celebrity child or...
Oh, well,
Yeah, you know-
it got lost in
Did
translation.
it wrong? What, is this not the safe zone? I mean, we get told
No,
we're
it isn't.
wrong?
It isn't.
We
You
can
get made-
play it live.
Say they did it extra right.
You get
Thank
made
you.
fun of your opinions. You get made fun of your feelings. You get made... That's the zone we're in.
That's good.
Absolutely.
It's
Safe.
a roast in
Fire.
here.
It's a roast. It's as hot as a roast. Yes, go ahead.
Take the shirt off, Sharon.
Onward.
Oh, do I have to keep reading?
Yes, please. I'll cut this
So
part.
we ask random people on the street to tell us whether the words we are giving them to say is the name of a celebrity child or something else.
Dot.
Let's take a listen to see what the public had to say.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have a second to come over and talk to us here in the
Sure.
we're with the movie guys? Okay, great. And your name, just your first name's fine.
Adam.
Adam. Excellent. And what do you do for a living, Adam?
IT guy.
Oh, okay. So you're really smart. Okay. You feel like playing a game? We have a little game here.
Sure.
Okay, great. So Adam, we're gonna play a game called Celebrity Child or Skin Condition. Okay. So I'm gonna give you 4 choices. Only one of them is the child of a celebrity. The other 3 are skin conditions. So I want you to identify the celebrity child. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
Abrasion, oral hematoma, athlete's foot, and Paxtheon. Which one of those, abrasion, oral hematoma, athlete's foot, or Paxtheon, is actually the name of a celebrity child?
Paxton.
Correct. Wow. Right out of the gate, we got a winner. Paxtheon, do you know who he belongs to, or she? I don't know.
I have no idea.
That is a Jolie Pitt offspring. So congratulations. Although I think they do have a cousin named Abrasion. All right. Well, thank you, Adam. Thanks for playing.
Thank you.
Excuse me. Sir, do you have a minute real quick?
Yeah.
And your name?
Ron.
Great. The game we're playing is called Celebrity Child or Plumbing Tool. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to list 4 things. One of them is a celebrity child. The other 3 are plumbing tools. I need you to guess which one is the celebrity child. All right?
Sounds fairly straightforward.
The nice thing is that there's no prizes, so you can't lose. That's one. First one, aqua pedestal, ball cock, pressure regulator, or pilot inspector. Which one of those is the celebrity child? Let me read those again, Ronnie, because it looks like you're a little confused. Aqua pedestal, ball cock, pressure regulator, or pilot inspector. 3 of those are plumbing tools. 1 of them is a celebrity child. They all sound like options.
Super painful, yeah.
I tell you, I had to look them up myself. I wasn't sure.
I'm going to go with option number 1, which was...
Aqua pedestal.
Aqua pedestal.
You know what? That feels like it should be,
Right.
but it's actually pilot inspector.
Wow.
Is the name of Jason Lee's child. So, again, like
Yeah.
I said, the
Pilot.
nice... Yeah, sorry, pilot.
True.
Like I said, the nice thing is there's nothing to lose or win.
really
so.
like
Thank-
him.
Thanks for
That's
playing. Your name?
Sheila.
Sheila.
Oh,
Right.
good, you got
I'm
a
Lee
girl.
with Movie Guys. So we're playing a little
Only
game
one.
here called Celebrity Child or Dog Name. All right?
Ah.
So here's what we're going to do. Have I lost you already, Sheila?
No.
Okay. All right, so Sheila, I'm going to give you
Was she cute? She sounds
5
cute.
names.
Yeah.
Good.
4 of them are dogs' names. 1 of them is actually a celebrity's child. Okay? So Shiloh, Zuma, Bluebell, Ocean, and Fido. Can you guess which one is actually a celebrity's child's name?
Zuma.
Zuma. Oh, sorry. It's actually Fido, which turns out to be Nicole Richie's daughter's name.
No.
Thank you for playing along. We appreciate your time.
You guys are stupid.
The twist there was all of them were except Fido.
Oh my God, that's so weird.
God, it just shows you a cross section of America just doesn't know celebrity children. What the hell is happening
And
to our country?
it also shows you that a lot of people take the bus.
The same bus. They take that same bus
And it almost hits him in every
over.
interview, too.
Well,
The
we
same
got them
bus
right as
over
they were
and over.
coming
Oh,
off.
yeah.
Right at the bus stop. We stood right there. Well, this is why we're here, Paul, because people don't know they're celebrity children.
No,
and we're here to
that's-
provide that service.
Well, now we know how the people at the truck stop feel.
Kind of knew going in.
Yeah.
But let's get on to the next film.
You think we've spent enough time on that?
It went. It literally went one too many, didn't it?
No, it was good. I liked it.
I edited that 2 hours ago.
I liked it.
We recorded it 3 hours.
Seems like we just had a Burt Wonderstone movie in theaters, but no sooner can you say Alakazam than another magic-based movie is playing on the big screen.
Alakazam.
Lee, let's cover Now You See Me.
A bunch of guys in matching suits and well-coiffed hair use misdirection and illusion to make a whole bunch of money disappear. No, it's not a documentary about banking in America.
Nor is it a film about Verizon's Can You Hear Me Now guy discovering Skype.
Now You See Me tells the story of the Four Horsemen, an elite group of the world's greatest magicians.
This is the magic trick, huh?
Illusion, Michael. Trick is something a whore does for money.
That I'd go see.
Now, that's not to be confused with the Four Magicians, who are a group of the world's most greatest equestrians.
Now, the Four Horsemen thrill audiences with their amazing magic tricks as a distraction while they rob banks and give the money to their audiences, making them the biggest bargain in Vegas, aside from the strip club that lets you give it HPV.
You could make an argument that based on the poster, you could call this movie Seven Psychopaths 2. Let's look at the cast.
All right, now if you need someone to rattle off boring facts interestingly, go with the best. The Social Network's Jesse Eisenberg leads the Four Horsemen, who are played by Woody Harrelson from Cheers, okay, Zombieland, Isla Fisher from IMDb.com, and veteran Mets relief pitcher Dave Franco.
No, Paul, I'm sorry. I think that's John Franco.
Now then, who's Dave Franco?
Nobody knows.
All right. Well, weird that they called this the Horsemen because one of them is a woman.
As a movie guy, I just want to say that is weird.
Michael Caine plays a banker who's none too happy to find he's been robbed and enlists a veteran magician played by Morgan Freeman to find the gang of David Copperhoods. Once again, Freeman narrates the shit out of this trailer.
Freeman is joined by an FBI agent played by everybody's favorite Hulk, Mark Ruffalo. They try to unravel the grand illusion that they may very well be at the center of.
The movie is directed by Louis Leterrier. Did I pronounce that right, Adam?
Close enough.
Leterrier. Director of nobody's favorite Hulk movie, but he's he's grandfathered into awesomeness because he directed The Transporter. If the script, acting, producing, editing, photography, production design, and special effects are already great, there's no guy you'd rather have to show up and say, "Action!"
This movie struggles to give its audience someone to root for. On one side, you have the soulless corporate greed of big banks, and on the other, magicians. Choosing between the likes of Bernie Madoff and Chris Angel means no matter who you root for, you're going to be lied to.
Now, it's fine to redistribute wealth, but showering a bunch of money over an audience of sweaty people with dollar bills is kind of strippy, don't you think? Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Strippy.
Gee, I wonder if the movie about magicians will have a trick ending. Trick ending. Oh man, do we have time for one more M. Night Shyamalan joke? I guess we've already covered Afterbirth or whatever the hell it was called.
It should have been called that.
Everybody loves magic, but nobody loves magicians. So, will this film pull a rabbit out of its hat and saw the box office in half? Maybe, if it can make After Earth disappear.
Oh, and we already look forward to the sequel. Now you don't. The David Blaine story.
Oh,
That's how you see
We cover the hell out of these movies.
We really do.
They just don't deserve it.
I mean, you really do learn a lot about that stupid movie.
But you gotta say,
it's actually
the summer movies, there is usually a lot to talk about. It's when we go on and on about a Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie, you just want to kill yourself.
When there's one movie out and it's Diary of a Wimpy Kid 2, and you're like, all right, on this week's movie, guys.
Yeah, sorry,
hour-long
folks.
program.
Just what to expect when you're expecting this week. Do an hour.
Go.
Yeah, that's no good. I'm excited to see this movie. I think it looks good.
I do too.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
sharp and
magic
slick
movies.
and, heisty.
I like the cast. The cast is all cool. I mean, obviously the cast is really cool.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got what's capital after the Avengers.
Oh,
does.
yeah.
Probably walk around being whatever he wants.
You know, it'd be great if they really made it rain money down in the theaters when we saw it.
Ooh, like Little Shop of Horrors at the end where they...
Yeah,
threw
when the
lightnings
plants
in.
come down,
Yeah.
but instead of just money. Imagine how many of us would get in fist fights.
Now there's a poster series that promotes this movie, and Adam, you have
Yes.
noticed that
weird.
they have, or do they have, or could they have suggestive titles?
No, they do. These are the real ones.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't make this up?
Because they have the character posters.
Oh.
Everybody does the character posters now where you
Right,
have
right.
the individual characters.
Uh-huh.
And on each of them, so the Jesse Eisenberg one, it says, the showman, he's great with his hands. Right? All right. well,
Right.
Get ready. Keep that sound effect warm. Morgan Freeman, the debunker. First of all, right?
Yeah,
What is that?
Nah, that sounds a little uncomfortable.
Like a Dirty Sanchez.
He's
Yeah.
an ass debunking.
He doesn't miss a trick.
Oh.
Woody Harrelson, the mentalist. Copyright. He can he can read your every thought.
No, it doesn't really work.
Nah,
Okay.
Isla Fisher, the girl that always gets away. The slight, he brings the heat. And this is the best one. This is Mark Ruffalo's. The agent. Fighting crime never looks so good.
Is that seriously on
When
there?
did he become
Could
a
I
sex
not?
symbol?
Yeah,
Could
he's
I
not
not
hunky.
sell the
The
shit out
Avengers.
of? I want to. It would be so great to have all these pilots for you're trying to sell, and they all have the catchphrase "Fighting crime never looks so good," and you sold all of them because of that.
That's awesome.
Well, despite that, I still want to see this movie.
Fighting crime never looks so
The ad
good.
campaign couldn't
that's
deter
the
you.
cheesiest sentence ever.
Yeah, it really is.
It is really bad. Why would you say that about him? He's great, but he's not
He's not
just
He's
good
not
looking.
going to be
He's
fighting crime.
great in
He's
many
going to be
ways.
investigating.
Yeah.
He's not dreamy.
Asking questions and formulating hypotheses never looks so good.
He always looks like he's about to start crying, doesn't
He
he?
should just say
Mark
smash
Ruffalo?
never looked so good.
Well, that much is true.
Right?
And,
I'd see that.
and did you know, Adam, did you know about this? That they may not pay everybody what they think they're worth for the Avengers 2?
What?
What? Brought up Mark Ruffalo and RDJ makes so much money now as
Yeah.
Tony Stark.
And then
It's
Marvel
we
wants
don't
to be
have
super cheap. but-
Oh, always.
Yeah.
And they don't know how much money they got. So Chris Hemsworth made like $5 million for Snow White and the Huntsman, turns around and makes $200,000 for the Avengers. He's like, well, we're going to have to make more than that second time out. And so there's all this talk. You can't
Yeah.
recast Thor, can you?
Yeah.
Or can
who
you? Maybe you
cares?
can.
I don't care.
Maybe you can.
As long as RDJ is in town.
Talk about such greed that you have managed to pull off the most amazing thing ever. You have put this crazy movie together that nobody thought could be done, and you brought all these stars together. And yes, that's going to get extremely expensive. They all got super famous because of their Marvel movies, and therefore brought billions
Of
to
money
Avengers.
to the Avengers,
It's like they were like the slave robots that went out and did the bidding of the master. I mean, it's like Marvel Studios is Doctor Doom in this scenario, right? They create all these little robots and like, bring me money, and they go out and they make all this money, and then they come back and they're like, oh, together we are mightier, and then they're like something.
We don't have a lot of money.
We don't have a lot of money.
I just love how
Where did all that
instead
money
of
go?
talking about that other movie about going out and getting money and coming back, you just made it into an Avengers, and I'd rather talk about the Avengers.
All right, so screw
Well,
it then.
of
Let's take a
course.
break, which again will not feel like a break at all to you folks out there, but we're going to greet our first special guest of the night
Exciting.
after this. Oh man, are you guys excited?
Don't I look it?
Yeah, their first guest visited us when we were at the Toad Hop Network, keeping magic alive out there in the cynical visual world. Please welcome to the Admirals Club, the amazing Mono! That is exciting. So glad that you're here. And whoa, there he is. There he is. Oh, he makes.
Hello, movie guys, and hello, internet world of attentive listeners. As ever, Paul, I've prepared an introduction card for you to read, if you will.
No, I
please.
have it here. I'll be happy to read it.
Thank you.
Let's see. Get the proper thing going. Ladies and gentlemen, after close to 2 decades of deafening magic on the radio and recently on audio podcasts, the world's #1 radio magician and now an author of the audiobook Hear How I Did It and How You Can Do It Too, a how-to manual on auditory trickery, our next guest can be seen on stage for the first time at this weekend's Listen Up charity event at the Mission Viejo Center for the Blind. Please welcome the amazing Mono!
Thank you. Thank you.
There we go. That's an official entrance.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. And Paul, there should be one more announcement there.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Here it is. And the amazing Mono will also be performing on the Magic Castle.
Whoa!
Now that is cool.
That is.
that's pretty
I've
great.
been there on a Friday
That
night.
is cool.
It's a special club.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very for those people who
They don't just
know.
let anybody in there.
It's very exclusive, very high-end club in Los Angeles. It's quite a thing to perform there, right?
Academy of the Magical Arts.
Paul, that's the Magic Channel. Magic Channel.
Oh, the Magic Channel. I see, not the Magic Castle.
Yes,
Okay, I'm sorry.
Sirius
My bad.
XM channel 310, 24/7 audible magic, mostly me.
Oh,
Okay,
I
well.
don't. Do you get serious, Adam? I don't.
Listen, I have to admit, when
think
we
we
were a
get
bit
that channel.
skeptical last time we had John here because we thought that radio magic was some kind of goof. But it was, well, it was magical
Well,
when you were here before.
Thank you very much, Paul. I can only hope to follow in the footsteps of the greats before me, like Dr. Decibel, the resonator, and of course, Teller.
Tell her. That's right. Well, I see that once again you've brought your lovely assistant. She's already back here,
right here.
creeping us up, which is
From
great.
a plane of existence heard only by the hounds of hell comes the fiery femme fatale of fascination and foreboding, Madame Sandler!
Very nice.
Madam Sandler.
Honey, hellos will suffice. We reserve ta-da for when I amaze with an astounding feat of magic agility.
Okay, great. Well, I would like to get right to it if possible. Let's see. Or say, let's hear some magic.
Thank you.
What do you say?
Listeners,
Okay.
take heed. Beware. Dark forces are all around us, but I can harness that power and let you hear magic like you've never heard it before.
Wow.
Great.
Man.
This is great.
it.
And now for
This
my
is a
first trick, pulling a rabbit out of this hat.
Okay.
Behold the hat. As you can hear, there is nothing inside it. But when I reach inside, I do not pull out nothing. No! Aha!
Oh,
All right.
there you go.
Hey.
Did you hear that? That was magical.
Thank you.
Truly, it was. That was great. Amazing Mono. I'm impressed. Now, for those of you at home listening to this, Mono had a hat with nothing in it, from which he pulled a live rabbit. That's
Thank
What he
you.
did.
Thank you. And now for my second trick, I will take on the mystery of the magic rope.
Ooh.
I love that. I've heard this before.
What are you going to do with that?
Classic.
I've
You
seen it.
will
I've actually
notice-
seen it before. I've
You
never heard it.
will notice that I'm handing. Right here in one hand, I'm holding one long rope.
Okay.
But gaze upon. Listen to this. Keep your focus on the rope.
Uh-huh.
He is going to town on that thing.
Now, several pieces of rope.
Ta-da!
Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
Ouch. Rooty Wooty Zoots!
For those of you listening, the amazing Mono cut a rope into many smaller pieces of rope, and then in one fell swoop, he reattached the pieces of the rope together again into one big piece of rope.
He's the best.
Yeah.
The best radio magician.
I've never heard anything like it, quite frankly.
Right?
Ever.
Now, I should ask you, Mono, have you heard of this film, Now You See Me? We've been talking about it.
Yes, as you can imagine, that's a phrase I have never uttered before in my act.
I believe
But
it.
some magicians rely on saying that to get the audience's attention.
Right. Now, the big trick in the film involves a bank vault heist where the magicians seem to teleport themselves into the vault and return with the money and give it to the audience watching their show.
That's my trick.
What?
I invented that trick a long time ago, and before I could perfect it, the great Mysterio stole it.
Oh, I remember that dude, the Mysterio.
Yes,
He did the Shark
Mysterio.
Tank escape thing over the crane with the water.
He is the professional nemesis of the amazing Mono.
And now he gets a consultant fee on the film for basically showing the movie producers how to do my trick.
Okay, well, the great Mysterio won't be calling in and interrupting you during this appearance. That you can be sure of.
You'll hang up on him?
Well, actually, we lack the ability to take phone calls on the show. But either way, look,
safe.
I want to devote the remaining part of the time here that you're with us to that trick, your trick, and give you your moment in the oral sun, as it were, so to speak.
Yes!
Let's
Absolutely.
do it.
Do it, Mono.
Let's do it. Do that trick from the movie, the Jesse Eisenberg movie.
Thank you. You are too kind. Well, take out your wallets and set them on the table.
Oh,
Done and done.
And get ready to fill them with all the money I can carry back
Ooh,
from the Federal Reserve Bank.
All right.
950 South Grand Avenue, downtown Los Angeles.
Oh, that's nowhere close to here. This is going to be exciting.
This.
How's he going to do this?
Close your eyes, movie guys!
Okay.
Sorry.
Close my eyes.
And prepare for a transportive experience unlike any other. Seriously, close your eyes.
Okay. Eyes are closed.
And now, I will transverse space and time and return with all the riches of a bank vault.
All right, for those of you watching at home, seems the amazing Mono is carefully taking money out of each of our wallets and putting it in his pockets.
Huh?
Madam Sandler is assisting him so he can use both hands.
Keep your eyes closed.
And
Wait.
He's now going to my wallet
Hold on.
and there's
Basically
basically stealing
headset
money.
back on.
Doesn't sound right, does it?
Yeah.
Adam?
He has
Close your
everything.
eyes.
What did he say?
And
Do
now
you
the
still have
two
your
of
eyes
them
closed?
are exiting out the side door with Madam Sandler.
I feel like I should open my eyes.
Yeah, me
and
too.
They're gone. Wait, they're coming back again.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Great.
And they're gone again.
Oh,
Can-
okay.
Can I?
We'll be right back.
When's he gonna make it rain?
Can I open?
It's not raining.
Welcome back, really from nothing to the show. We don't really cut away here. You know, maybe one of these days we'll get sponsors, and that'll be fun. But let's not waste any time and head on over to Karen for her weekly look at the birthdays of the people who make the movies.
Karen, before you get started, you have a little costume left on your head.
Oops.
A little.
Ta-da! All right, this is very exciting. Ooh, birthdays. We start off our birthday celebration wishing a happy birthday to our friend Jack McBrayer, who turns 40 but can play anywhere from improviser on Navy Pier to huge friggin' success in movies and television.
Hey there.
Just goes to show that doing the Dock Street Stomp is a surefire way to movies and television success.
K-Ace, Dock Street Stomp.
First
Yeah,
you
it's,
get your sea legs, then you step out wide.
Now let me tell you something, Adam. You know what the Dock Street Stomp is because people on Navy Pier did it.
All over Chicago.
All over, and it swept Chicago, didn't it? Did it? No, it didn't. Did
The
it?
Dock Street.
The Dock Street Stomp. We worked
You mean
with
the Millie? The Millennium?
We worked
Sadly,
with McRae.
we're going to out Jack. We worked with him at Navy Pier. And we had to do this Dock Street Stomp at 4 o'clock every day on this giant set of stairs. And it was awful and horrible. I have nightmares.
Jack McBrayer, personal friend of yours?
Absolutely. Personal
Wow.
friend. No, he's awesome, but he went on to other things.
I
and
did not
I'm
do the
sweating
Dock Street
in my
Stomp.
garage.
No, you have.
Anyway, happy birthday, Jack. And next up, happy birthday to the offensive lineman Michael Orr, who turns 27, but can play anywhere from poor underprivileged youth to Super Bowl champion. And as we all know, Michael's life was made into award-winning movie The Blind Side, starring Ms. Sandra Bullock. So congrats to Michael, and since your movie mom was played by the hot-ass Sandra Bullock, you're the only guy out there who gets a pass when you have sexual fantasies about your mom. As a matter of fact, we'll always celebrate with you and have some sexual fantasies about her as well.
Not a problem at all.
But he'll forever be known as the guy that movie was based on.
Yeah.
Like that's how I've heard him described before. Like I don't actually know his name, but every time he's mentioned, people go, that guy that Blindside was based on.
Blindside guy.
Blindside
Blindside
guy.
Yeah,
That's his
exactly.
name now.
Congratulations, your name's been changed to Blindside guy.
And last and most definitely least, we'd like to wish a happy birthday to Todd Bridges, who turns 48 but can play anywhere from Willis Drummond to Willis Drummond. As we were doing this, much like the music, I ran out of time when I was trying to write my jokes because it takes me forever to write comedy jokes. So instead, I just looked on the internet and found some facts out about Todd Bridges, and I didn't have to bother writing any jokes.
There's some true story going on there.
This is how they described him. Different Strokes child star who survived a troubled life.
He made it out. He made it out alive.
Isn't he surving?
He made it to his age.
I thought you were gonna.
His birthday.
I thought you were gonna tell me that while you were writing the Todd Bridges piece that he died. You went online to find out that he
I
died.
mean, what time is it? It could have
Happy
happened.
birthday.
Get this. This is right off of IMDb, which is legit. He appeared as a contestant on the Fox reality show Skating with Celebrities, but was eliminated on the second episode of the show because he was using roller skates instead of ice skates.
Wait, hold on a second. Isn't that something they would have noticed
How do you
kind of
not
right
catch
away?
that?
Fans were surprised. He made it. Fans were surprised that he even made it past the first episode.
We're going to have to go to the tape because I think there's something suspicious about Todd Bridges' footwear in this ice skating
That
competition.
tears it. I'm going to watch TV.
tears it.
And hang on, there's one more real thing I found.
I think he might be wearing roller skates. We're going to have to look at the tape.
Is that a hang glider on him? Well, no wonder.
You're out, Bridges.
Todd Bridges defeated Vanilla Ice on a 2002 episode of Celebrity Boxing. So happy birthday, Mr. Bridges, and everybody else, and you too, Jack McBrayer. Happy birthday, everybody.
Todd Bridges really into celebrity athletics.
Thank you.
I don't know who I would have picked in the Vanilla Ice Todd Bridges bout.
Right? That's true.
I don't know who I would have picked based on odds, and I don't know who I would have picked based on who I want to win.
Vanilla Ice is not going to win that.
No.
No. I don't think so. He's not an actual tough guy. Like,
No.
Todd Bridges did crack and stuff.
Todd Bridges used
He
to
was
date
like a
that other
crackhead.
chick. She was pretty
he
badass.
spent some time in the ghetto.
Did he date
Dana, what's
Plato?
her face? Yeah.
Who is, by the way,
Passed on.
dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that charming section of our show. Karen Volpe!
Thank you, birthday.
We're going to take one last mini break, a breaklet perhaps, and be back with Mike J. Nichols to talk our asses off about the 30th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. We will be right back. It is time for another guest here on the Movie Showcast. Our third guest since we've been broadcasting out of the Admirals Club here in beautiful Burbank, California. Or our second. Jury's out on whether you count the amazing Mono as a guest.
I do.
Mike J. Nichols is with us.
Hey!
Ta-da.
Not now, Karen.
Now, Mike is the best film and video editor I know, as well as the editor of countless TV shows and the film Last Play at Shea. He's also the creator of the comedy web series Two Guys Drinking at a Bar and the notorious Phantom Editor, which we'll get into. You know how I found out all that information? Wikipedia. Mike, you can Wikipedia Mike J. Nichols, which means he's somebody.
And currently also on Wikipedia, if you will.
Are you really?
Yes.
You know how I know I need some help? Because on the Wikipedia page for Mike J. Nichols, when they reference two guys drinking at a bar, you can click on Kevin Farley, who's in the show, and it goes to Kevin Farley's page. When you click on Paul Preston, it goes to Paul Preston's page, the British historian. He's like a huge fat guy talking about
Wait
history.
a minute, Paul Preston's your name.
Exactly.
Okay.
Does it really?
Shit about
Yeah, it does. I mean, they might have just made their own link. They said, "Oh, must be this Paul Preston." Must it? Like
your
some
name,
old dude from Britain yabbering
Dude,
on?
hook that up so they'll go to the movie guys.
Yeah, we can fix that.
Yeah, well, I got
You're
to make
good
a
at
movie
that,
guy's
Mike.
page.
Make a note.
No, I didn't even know that.
You're a
Wow.
Wikipedia-er.
Wikipedia.
So there's tons to talk about because, first of all, as I mentioned earlier on the show, it is the 30th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. 30th anniversary of the close of the original trilogy of Star Wars movies. And I remember seeing it in the theater. So I wanted to go around and find out everyone else's memories of first seeing it in the theater.
That might be the first time I saw any movie on opening night. And that was like the most exciting thing ever. I mean, obviously there was this huge buildup, and this was like meant everything to us at that age. That this Return of the Jedi, this great sequel to Star Wars, the final Star Wars movie, and I just remember being so keyed up in that line. Like I've never felt anything like that since. Like I just remember being so keyed up because I was there, and like it was just so packed, and I'd never been to an opening night before. And then just as each moment unfolded in Jabba's palace and that stuff, I mean, I just remember being so blown away at that. It was
And
awesome.
back then, not
Awesome.
saying back then because you're old joke, but like when that happened, that wasn't common for people to wait in lines like that. I mean, that was really a new thing.
Yeah, they weren't pre-selling tickets either. I mean, you got there and you
Yeah.
and you bought tickets and you hung out. It was a day.
Yeah.
The only time, of course, I felt that otherwise was Phantom Menace, which
yes.
in McClure Court in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
On
packed.
my birthday.
Yeah,
That's how
sorry,
we
honey.
celebrated it.
Yeah, that got kicked today. But what are you gonna do? So, but I mean, I remember getting sad at the end of Return of the Jedi when I saw it. I was like, I'm never gonna see these guys again.
I thought you were gonna say you were sad because of the fucking Wookiees or the little what are the
Ewoks?
Because of Ewoks.
Yeah. That was a very sad scene. Like, what the fuck's this?
When that Ewok dies.
Grandpa,
When they show up.
That was for you, Karen. All those goddamn Wookiees running around killing Jedis. Wookiees killing Jedis. That's all I saw.
Wars, Trek, you kids.
Now, Mike, you were tied into Star Wars a ton because, well, you're on Wikipedia. So, what are your memories of the?
We got me and two other guys. We were kids. We got dropped off at the movie theater really early in the morning to buy tickets. And the kid's mom drank a lot, and she just left us there. And we're there at 9 in the morning. We bought tickets.
I remember you.
Yes, and 500 people probably standing in line to get tickets. And they left. And we were the kids sitting at the door for 13, 14 hours waiting to see the movie that night.
In Ohio, right?
No, it was still Illinois.
Oh.
And the news crew
They're the
start
same.
driving up and down the street, and they're like, oh, my God, people are in line already. So NPR came, and all the news crew came, and they're like, you guys, you're already in line for this
You were the
movement.
first line sitters?
Yeah, but by accident. So they interviewed us for NPR, and they're like, how many times have you seen this movie? And the guy next to me was so nervous, he's like 100.
The byproduct of negligent parenting.
I saw that movie. That was the first time I saw a movie as many times in the theater as I saw that. I saw it 6 times in the theater. The next year, I saw Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom that many times. But Jedi was the first. 6 times in the theater.
Now, remember when movies stayed in the movie theater
Yeah.
for a year
Yep.
at that time?
Yep.
How many years was that playing where you were at?
Oh, man, I don't know.
Because I think
don't
Star
remember.
Wars played until Empire Strikes Back played.
Yeah, and they did
Yeah.
re-releases. I saw Star Wars 8 times, but that's because it was released every year until Empire came out. It was released several times. Yeah.
Yeah, in my hometown, there were 2 theaters when I was growing up. Then eventually a Cineplex opened after they built a mall. But you
Had to have a place to put it.
Yeah, the Oneonta Theater, my hometown of Oneonta, New York, would have Star Wars. And then it would go away, but you'd know later on it would show up at the Showcase Cinema, with a little smaller theater on the other side of town. So you can kind of see it go there and then make its return after it played for a year at the Oneonta Theater.
You'd pay like $1.50 in the morning and stay there all day watching it. Did
Oh,
you
yeah,
do that?
yeah.
Especially if your friend's mom was drunk, she couldn't
Yeah,
come
yeah,
back
that's
and get
how we got places.
That's a
We'd be
funny
like, "Oh, I'll
story
get
that you
tonight."
told about getting into the movie, because we would do that all the time for like Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Purple Rain and other R-rated movies, we'd just like have Grandma drop us off. These kids are good enough. And Grandma, take a hike, Grandma.
That's how we saw Blade Runner. The drunk mom dropped us off. Goes, yeah, they're old enough, and we went in. We certainly weren't.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's true. Every friend had that one mom that was really good at that. Like, we had a friend whose mom, I don't know if she drank a lot, but she definitely didn't give a shit. So she would, she'd sneak us in the back of her car. She was so good. Like, she would go to the drive-in by herself, and then the person would say, anybody else in the car? And she's like, no. And we'd be in the trunk.
You get in the trunk?
Wait a minute, you literally would stay in the trunk.
For drive-ins, right?
Yeah, she would pull over before we got to the line. We'd get in the trunk, which was fun. We were like 10.
Because you paid per
You pay
person
per
in the car.
person. Yeah.
So you put people in the trunk. That's like...
That is a shout-out to Holly Hosak's mom. Awesome.
Who's listening?
Absolutely.
Hey, by the way, you mentioned that line. Now, the only thing that can compare to Return of the Jedi, except that there's obviously much more of our youth and memory to that. But that Phantom Menace thing, did you get there at like 5:30 in the morning or whatever, and people were in line and everybody was cooking out, and it was awesome. It was like I don't go to a whole lot of concerts. I don't do a whole lot of things like that where like everybody's camped out for some common pop cultural cause.
It was Lollapalooza for movies.
It was Lollapalooza for Star Wars. It was fantastic.
I was working at a small design agency when Phantom Menace came out, and the proprietor closed the shop, and he said, we're all going to go see.
Awesome.
So like Tuesday afternoon at 1 o'clock, everybody in the office just went down and watched Phantom Menace.
They had an illness that they came up with for everybody that was calling in that day.
That's
that it
right,
came out.
there was.
And I can't remember what it was
Phantom
called.
illness.
Oh, that's awesome.
Midi-chlorians?
Yeah, that.
Midi-chlorian level?
That's chlamydia, Paul.
Nice. That's a perfect segue to this. So you guys talk about seeing Star Wars in the theater, and I just wanted to let you know that I never saw it in the theater because my dad,
Please say it.
who I love,
He probably said the same thing.
no,
my
here
parents
it
said.
comes. My dad would say, "You don't need to see that in the theater. Wait till it gets on TV."
My mom said that for years. Oh, it'll be on TV.
It'll be on TV. I never saw it on TV.
Garrett, in the history of Star Wars, has it ever been on
TV?
Not until they created Spike, I think,
Right?
did all them show
And
up
we don't
on
get
TV.
cable. And then second
And they
thing,
didn't even show the first one.
Can I share this? Can I share the second thing?
Sure.
That's super stupid. So not only did I not see it in the theater, as a matter of fact, I didn't see any of the Star Wars or Return of the Jedi or anything in the theater because my family didn't take us to movies. Sad. But they bought us the playing cards and the toys. It was really
Awesome.
fun. I love Princess Leia. I had no idea what
Awesome.
she did.
That was half the fun.
Right? So I had all the cards and I would trade them with other people because I didn't know what was going on. And the only other thing they did is they bought me the soundtrack. Yes, right? So I had a cassette tape,
Oh, yeah.
and I would take my cassette tape, I would take it outside, and I would play. Do you have the music
I
for
do.
the Cantina Band?
Sweet.
For hours, I would twirl the baton.
For those of you at
Ready?
home who don't know that we
Oh,
also do a
this is
video
Are you
portion of
playing
this.
it? I can't hear.
Karen is twirling a baton and
It says record, right, David?
For hours, people. I didn't get to see the movie, but I would twirl the baton to the Cantina.
Now, Mike, do you know this? I want you to verify this because I remember as a kid, the soundtrack was literally them. The soundtrack. It was them talking. It was scenes.
well, that's not the soundtrack. That's the story of Star Wars.
Oh,
I had
that was an
and
album,
played
right?
the shit out of that album.
If my dad had only gotten me
I
that.
played that album every day when I got home from school. The way I got home was I got home, I put that record on there, and I acted out Star Wars in my room.
That was
it
my
was so fun.
That was my concept of a soundtrack. I remember later in life hearing about soundtracks. I'm
Yeah.
like, there's no dialogue on this thing. Where's the soundtrack?
Well, you know what? That's what confused me when Empire Strikes Back came out, because I was like, hey, I love the story of Star Wars. Listen to it every day. Let's get the Empire Strikes Back. And you're like, well, it's great because it's the music, but this isn't it's fun.
That was yeah, same
Sorry,
thing.
Mike.
Are you okay?
Yes, I'm done now. I'm done with
Yeah.
my sad. I'm done twirling. I tell you.
That
You
is
grow-
a good time to point
No,
out,
Lord.
as Adam said I should, that we are a visual show. So if you're hearing us on iTunes, you want to tune into what Carolyn
SoundCloud.
was wearing
Go to YouTube.
as Madam Sandler, and now, of course, her fantastic baton.
Well,
Very
it's hot
revealing.
in
There's
here.
baton twirling.
Yes.
There's magicians you can't see.
Let's get back to our guest, though, because he brought in, and I don't know if you can see it well, we'll make sure we put a picture of this up on
Yeah,
our
behind
website.
him here.
A Revenge
Oh, I've
of the
already tweeted
Jedi
it.
poster.
Oh, did you? Cool.
It's a real Revenge of the Jedi poster. It's a double-sided.
The one sheet.
It's a one sheet.
How'd you get that?
Now,
this was printed, I believe, in '82. That George Lucas had it made for.
right here, 82.
Because
And
even
backstory for anybody
they even
who doesn't
messed
know.
up. They even messed up the colors of the lightsabers on it. And so somebody had painted this, and they made it. The movie was originally called Revenge of the Jedi.
Yeah.
And I'll name a count. There was 100 of them that were printed, and they left them in the staff, and they were just going to dye them and throw them. They're just going to get rid of them. And
so that's the even more valuable version of the
this
Revenge of the
one
Jedi
that
poster,
this
which is rare.
This is the one that the staff, everybody that had worked
Whoa.
at Lucasfilm, got off of a table. And the creativity contest had a little thing saying if you made something and you turned it in, you could win one of these.
And you did.
And I did.
What did you do?
Of course he did.
I made a little video game of Wicket dropping rocks on Stormtrooper's head using a Commodore VIC-20 computer. And the neatest part of that, though, is I sent it in, and they didn't even have the technology to play it.
But they were like, well, if you did it
at Lucasfilm, and so Ben Burt called my house because he was the judge, and he said, "There's something wrong with this tape. Like we found a VIC-20, but we can't get it to play. Do you have another version?" So I made him another version, and I didn't realize it was Ben Burt at first, and so I sent it to him, and he gave me a number, and I called back, and he goes, "Yeah, we got it planned. We're playing it right now. This game is hard."
By the way, for anybody who doesn't know, Ben Burt is the famous sound designer,
designer.
Of all the Star Wars movies.
And he was the judge.
Kids. Created all those lightsaber sound effects and laser blast and all that stuff.
But it was,
tapping
it was
guide
solo
wires.
tech. They just would grab people. You produced the movie, right? You're going to judge the drawing contest. So it was everybody that worked on the movie that you knew their names from the credits. They were all judges.
Those are the days.
Yeah.
Right? And your name appeared in Bantha Tracks.
It appeared in Bantha Tracks.
I probably have the issue of Bantha Tracks with your name in it. I have Bantha Tracks at home right now. My parents' home.
Now, as a hardcore fan, you brought some stuff with you that would be interesting for folks to check out. Yeah?
Well, in a conversation, you were saying something about the different versions, and this is what was supposed to be the definitive version, which came out on VHS and Laserdisc.
He is holding a giant double brick, 3 brick size
Laserdisc
collection.
You have to, in order to watch Star Wars, you have to pop it out and flip it over, and then pop it out and change discs, and then pop it out and flip it over in order to watch a 2-hour movie. Right?
Yeah. And they also had different encoding, so you could have more on less discs, so to speak. But that's a definitive version. And then
Why have you bought every version?
I think it was one of those things where I started collecting
You
them.
decided to get every version?
You may have noticed we brought Mike in because he's our Star Wars expert on the Return of the Jedi anniversary.
And then there's the special edition.
Well, he's holding a plastic crate, for those not watching on YouTube, that has every single stupid edition that we bitch about Lucas releasing.
Yes.
That we bitch about. Now, I just want to point out something. Last week we had a Star Trek expert, and now we have a Star Wars expert, and I think that Mike gets laid more. I'm just throwing that out there. Okay.
And I
Which
can't
brings
tell
us
the
to the
difference.
topic of Jedi?
So how many versions of each movie have there been?
You know what? I went on Wikipedia today to actually figure out. No one actually can explain how many different versions there are because of the little minute changes that appear.
This is an amazing document because I did know that there were some changes even before we know the special edition. Just the way each of the original reels was re-released with changes.
They would go back, and even in the Star Wars that came out in 1977, the next year they would release a different version where they'd remix the audio, change different things,
use different takes.
But they began to start every time somebody would get shot with a gun and it would show the explosion. They were like, that's a little too violent. So they'd move the edit point around so it seemed less violent. So each year you get a less and less violent version of Star Wars.
And so that's even between the film and video, and the film
way
and TV.
before that, yeah.
Wow.
That's even between the release of 77 and 78, I think.
It was.
Really?
Yeah.
Between the re-release?
Yeah, because
And of course, it was originally called Episode 1, and they eventually did change it to Episode 4, 5, and 6.
They just even have an episode. It just said Star Wars.
It just said Star Wars, yeah.
Wow.
Is that how you know it's the good version? It's just Star Wars?
That hasn't existed for...
You can't really find that.
Yeah.
Really?
Even the one that's the sort of hidden movie
If you get
is
it,
not the right one.
It's not the original audio mix, but the picture is like the 1979, 1980-ish version. So it's not the original 1977.
So they're combining
you guys
two versions.
Saw the original.
Now, I don't think I've ever shared this with you, but I came from Canton, Illinois. And years later, my brother gave me a book for Christmas, which was the making of Star Wars and the special effects. written by Tom Smith, who ran ILM during all that time, who was from my hometown. And when we were little kids, we went to this guy's house who was dating the drunk mom. And he would be like,
Drunk
hey,
mom is our hero.
Hey, while I go hang out with your mom in the other room, you guys watch these little tapes. And he had a VCR. And his buddy was making this movie out in Hollywood and gave him a copy. And we used to watch a different version of Star Wars on VHS at his house.
Oh my God! What, he was boffing drunk mom?
Yeah.
Nice.
How are you pulling
Hanging
this off?
out with drunk mom. That was the, hey, I'm going to hang out with
I'm gonna
drunk
hang out
mom.
with your- how's your drunk mom doing?
Quote unquote, hang out with drunk mom.
How are you pulling this off from Canton? I
And we-
have no
and-
connections.
that's
I'm
what
here in
it is.
LA.
And we would sit and watch this, and then we'd look at each other going, there's no way, that's not what we saw. We go, this is different. There are scenes in here, and there's little weird marks and X's and stuff. Like, we
Oh,
shouldn't
you
have been
saw
seeing.
the
yeah,
rough cut
we saw
before even
work
the
prints and
fades
stuff.
and work prints?
There were fades in it.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
So we would sit and
Wow.
watch it over and over again. Biggs was in it a lot more than we remember. And then one day we kept going over, and his mom apparently didn't want to get drunk with him anymore. So we would go over there and we go, hey, where's that tape at? And he goes, I recorded wrestling over the top of it.
Here's a great match between Superfly Snuka and Steve Lombardi. Enjoy that. I'm going to go hang out with drunk mom for a while.
But he said it's cool. It'll be on TV someday soon.
Now let's get back to the movie at hand here, because specifically Return of the Jedi. You're telling me, and this is the first I heard this in conversation the other day, you said they started shooting that before the script was
That's
done.
right.
This
Yeah.
is something Lawrence Kasdan would allow?
No.
He seemed like a pretty thorough guy.
No.
All right, so what's the deal?
The release date.
Well,
is what it was.
when we were talking about that, I said there was a whole George Lucas philosophy thing where he was saying, just make sure it's good on paper, and then you just shoot like average or above average, and you're going to end up with a good movie. And that was his philosophy. And then they started Return of the Jedi without actually having the script finished. And the main plot point was, why does Luke start fighting Darth Vader if he's not going to be a bad guy? And somebody on the set kind of just, as I understand it, made it up. Hey, what if he says he's going to mess with the sister? Because we've introduced that in the story. They're like, oh, good idea, let's shoot that. And they were just making stuff up. And if you watch some of the behind-the-scenes stuff, Harrison Ford is going, what if I just say this? They'll be like, yeah, that's good, it's funny, man. And they left it.
That's awesome.
Call him Fuzzball or whatever. Wait, that was probably the second one.
And then you know that they showed this at the Egyptian Theater, but it's the special edition print, which no one can get a copy of the original Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, or Return of the Jedi in the original theatrical versions. You can't show them anywhere anymore.
For public screening.
Yeah, for
I've
public
heard that.
screening.
Now, but let's talk about those for a second, because Lee had some questions before this about why they made some changes. And there some you could look. Are there any you look at and go, yeah, that's probably a good idea, or are they all just bad ideas? Because when you look at it as a wide scope, they all just look like bad ideas. But you've picked through all these movies so thoroughly. What do you think?
Yeah, there was an article that came out in one of the filmmaker magazines with George Lucas on the cover when he first announced what he was doing, and everybody's like, "Oh, that seems cool. We could just in the computer composite those things better." So we get rid of that matting box around the things that we'd seen so much on the VHS versions.
That's a good thing.
They'd be like, oh, we'll get rid of that. And I'd be like, oh, narratively, you're going to fix a lot of stuff. But that's not what he did. I mean, he would even leave stuff screwed up so we could go in and add sound effects and left lightsabers that weren't painted. So you could add in creatures and general silliness to the movie. And you've never seen it, right?
No.
Wait a minute.
It's one thing to clean
I've
it up.
seen like a cleaned up version, but I haven't seen any of these early versions.
Wait, so you've seen the bad ones or the good ones?
The ones that have been tampered
We
with.
don't even know.
But it's
I don't know if they're bad or good.
the big sin isn't like putting Jabba back in. The big sin is like lingering on two robots, like screwing around after the land speeder goes past.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, no. The plot says the land speeder goes past, and then we go to the next scene. Now you stop for a second. So like a crazy new robot we invented and a crazy new creature we just invented to get in a little argument. You know.
Return of the Jedi, fucking off.
Yeah.
We're fucking off here.
The one scene that most impressed or made an impact on me was Mos Eisley and how he completely changed that. Because in the original Star Wars, wasn't Mos Eisley just this barren kind of little outpost?
Yeah, it was dumpy.
Yeah, and there was almost nothing there, and it became this bustling mecca of trade and commerce.
And people doing goofy shit.
It ruined it for me.
It's interesting you say
totally
that.
changed the mood.
Because his point was, well, I always wanted that to be a bustling thing, but you know, we got used to the version where it's just a desert outpost, like you said. Like, no, it's kind of like I've invented a world in which this is a lonely place to be. So now you're making
Yeah.
sure I don't think that. I don't interpret the art that way.
And I'm no filmmaker, but I've accidentally made films once in a while. And one of the things I've noticed is that sometimes the greatest things you get in your film are the result of not having what you need and improvising around the situation.
Like all of Jaws.
Yes. And I mean, Adam and I actually recently just shot a short where we didn't have a laptop to shoot a scene. And so we ended up taking a whole computer into somebody's car and shooting a scene because they were supposed to be on their laptop. But that ended up being a much funnier bit.
Funnier to see someone with a whole computer
in their front
and
seat.
the only
and a
reason you
monitor.
did, oh, the greatest
Just operating out of the cigarette lighter.
Yeah, and the whole point is that out of that adversity, we were able to create this completely different tone and attitude. And that's really where I think he failed, is that he changed that for us. Like you said, that's what I knew, and that's what I grew up with, and that was my impression of Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
So
now I'm going to show you.
yeah, no, and I think that's the art and that's the skill of filmmaking.
But that is even as not quite as heinous an idea as changing character intention, which you think is a horrible
Worse,
thing.
yeah.
For
so
example.
give me some examples.
The worst is The Empire Strikes Back, where Darth Vader tells him his father, and he says, "Join me," and he just lets go and falls. That's the way it's always been. He chose not to. But if you watch the very first version of the special editions, they add in him screaming all the way down. And surround sound is like, ah. It's not even Mark Hamill's voice.
Because they can. Yeah.
It's not even Mark Hamill's voice. It's the voice of the guy that plays the Emperor from Return of the Jedi.
So what are you suggesting
Not to
that
do
that means?
because,
It's saying
yeah. I would say that to me, because I don't even know if I've seen it, just means that he didn't make that choice consciously.
It's like he slipped
Yeah.
or he fell, and now he's
Oh.
afraid.
Now
The
he's
whole
like,
thing was so.
no.
Oh.
It's stronger to say, fuck you, I'm jumping.
But what's worse is if each of the versions that came after that, he suddenly realized it was a bad idea, so he took it out. The same way with the Han shooting.
They remember.
Oh, he went back and changed that?
They change every different version. He changes the amount of frames. That
I didn't know he changed. I previously changed ideas. You know what I mean? Like I made a change. Now I went and changed it back.
He did change it back.
Oh wow!
You know what? Lucas is kind of like a Star Wars hoarder. Like he has all this Star Wars, he doesn't know what to do with it, so he just changes
Just
it a
kinda
little
piles
bit.
up in
It
his
piles
living
up,
room.
and he's like, I need to change my Star Wars.
And he gets buried in it. And
Yeah.
he kind of doesn't know what to do. And he becomes a
Shitting in Target
crazy old
bags,
guy.
keeping it in the closet.
Every now and then you found a dead cat on Tatooine.
But I want to dedicate the next part of this show to a character you have close and near and dear to your heart.
Very, very much so. Yeah.
And that's Lando Calrissian's co-pilot by the name of Nien Nunb. Now, here's what I looked up.
You only know the name of because of the action figure. That's
Exactly.
Star Wars is the first movie that
And the sticker.
has that.
I saw the sticker.
It's an interactive movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh yeah, the sticker on the thing.
It's Nunb, I believe, which is none, right? Not num with an M. So what's his name?
I say Nien Nunb.
I think everybody
Yeah,
does,
I say
regardless of
Nien
how the
Nunb.
fuck it's spelled. But let me give you an
Zuckus.
example. Let me give you an example of how this
Forlom.
guy sounds.
Is it
How this
Forlom
guy
or
sounds.
4LOM?
Wait, what?
What do you say? 4LOM or 4LOM?
I'm not going to answer.
Here's Nien Nunb for you.
Aterere nyu hare muri hare moke aha. Onge to ko empitu nyuni. Imuti bitu mi gama dioti. Aga mate ge to.
So there's some examples of him saying stuff.
Okay. Do people talk to him?
No,
and know
no.
what he's
Lando
saying?
does.
No, no,
Lando
no.
does.
What the joke here, Karen, is it's a bullshit character.
Oh.
It's there to be an action figure.
But like I know, I
It's
sort of
so-
know what R2-D2 is saying. Like he'll go, "Rrr, rrr, rrr, rrr," and I go, no.
He's the Jar Jar Binks of his time.
He's the Jar Jar Binks of
Yet
Jedi.
somebody had to play him, and thankfully Mike and all of his memorabilia brought in some rare tape
Now this is amazing.
from the auditions for Nien Nunb. And we want to play a little bit of the audition tape for just finding the character of Nien Nunb. How you doing? Welcome to the Revenge of the Jedi auditions. We're looking for the role of Nien Nunb. All right, go ahead and say to the next. Who do we got?
Hello, I'm Cromwell Taggart. I studied under Uta Hagen for 4 years before joining the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts, and most recently have played Hamlet on the West End alongside Derek Jacobi, for which I received a Laurence Olivier Award.
Outstanding. Go ahead and read the line for us. A little less British dialect if you could, though, next time. Thank you. All right, who do we have next?
Hey, hi. I'm Ian Bartholomew. I was Lorenzo Lamas' best man on an episode of Falcon Crest. I also have 3 separate under 5s on Fantasy Island, And recently I received my certificate of participation from Dick Van Patten's acting camp.
Of the in Simi Valley?
No, the one down in Long Beach.
Oh, the good one.
Yeah. Oh, and I was wondering, maybe I could play the part with my shirt off?
I don't see how that is necessary. It's a puppet, really.
Okay.
The voice is what we're going for.
Thought I'd
So
ask,
I'm gonna tell you what, I'm gonna read you a line, and then go ahead and you just say the line after the Lando Calrissian line. That blast came from the Death Star. That thing's operational. That's good. All right, thank you.
You sure you don't want my shirt off?
Who's next?
Hi there. My name is Tiffany Michelle, and I just recently was in the national tour of Annie, and I played Pepper, but I also understudied Annie and actually performed it. Right now, you can see me on TV and the Pepsi commercial, and I'm the little cute girl, the one with the pigtails. And also, you can hear my voice every Saturday morning. I am the voice of Starlight.
Rainbow Bright's horse.
Yes.
Do you have any questions or anything?
Yes, on the top of page 2, how do you pronounce the...
Oh, it's Kudiada.
Kudiada?
I mean, make it your own, you know.
Okay, thank you.
Don't worry, my friend's down there. He'll have that shield down on time.
Kudiada, num, 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 num. Kudiada.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I can also play an Ewok.
Now you've grown out of that. Sorry. Just send the next in. Thanks.
Fuck you.
All right, who's next?
Kip Sang Rodich.
Outstanding. Tell you what, I'm gonna read you one of these Lando lines, and then you give me your line, all right? How can they be jamming us if they don't know we're coming? That's it. Congratulations, you're hired. We got our Nien Nunb. All right, that's great. So, all right, bring in the General May Beans, please. They're next. The hallway's starting to smell. It's not like we're making fucking Zardoz or anything. Jesus.
That is some insight.
Thank you, Mike, for bringing us that.
I hope you don't get caught with that. That's
We got to hear, good thing is we got to hear that before George Lucas went in and changed it.
Yeah,
so that's really what's key.
It's like hearing it for the first time.
Did you know Nien Nunb was a figure, an action figure?
I did look it up later, but I don't know when that came out. But I thought it wasn't.
Oh,
It's Darth Vader, Lando Calrissian, and 4LOM from Kenner's Star Wars Return of the Jedi collection. Part of the Star Wars collection of 48 action figures, each sold separately. Now there's a brand new action figure not yet available in stores. It's Nien Nunb. You can get Nien Nunb free with 5 proofs of purchase from any Star Wars action figures. Details on specially marked packages. Offer expires June 15th, 1983. Darth Vader, Lando Calrissian, 4LOM, and other action figures each sold separately from Kenner's Star Wars Return of the Jedi collection.
I swear to God, it was that little girl who auditioned for the thing. That was
Hey.
the same one.
That's how I got mine. That is how I got mine.
That's how I got 4LOM.
Absolutely.
That's how I got 4LOM.
Admiral Akbar.
I
by
loved
sitting in
the ones you mailed away for.
Yeah.
It's
And
like,
you
was-
waited 6 years
Did they
to get
invent
them.
that? What a great thing. You know, Star Wars was the first interactive movie. You had figures and stuff, and and then you sent away for them. That was
You
the
didn't
best.
even need the movie.
I'd like to backtrack real quick before we got into this. Somebody had mentioned the Han shoots first dynamic. Once and for all, Mr. Nichols, could you explain what's at issue there? Because I've heard this talked about, and I don't understand it. It's a problem that he did shoot first, he didn't shoot first. There's a camp on one side, on the other.
Can you explain this for Grandpa real quick?
Go for it, and then tell us how you had that first Boba Fett.
Well, it's
that killed kids.
it's Greedo shooting first.
Oh yeah.
But what I hear is Han shoots first.
That's the original
That's
version.
the original.
Yep.
Okay. So he comes in like Paul is going to say.
This is why I asked.
So in the first movie,
Paul, you owe me. I owe you money. You want the money back? And I'll be like, yeah, I'll get that to you. Pulls his gun out, sets it underneath the table, and just blows him away. That's the way it's been.
Yes, that's what I know.
Because he's badass. That's how it is.
Ergo, Han shoots first.
Yes.
Okay.
And then in the special edition, he thought that seemed a little too cruel for a likable character that you could sell action figures to kids with. So he now made digitally the other guy shoot first, Greedo.
Greedo shoots first,
And
so
then
Han
miss
is
from this
defending
close.
himself.
He's defended himself.
Oh.
And then 10 minutes later, he's flying the Millennium Falcon, sees a TIE fighter, and is like, hey, let's blow that out of the sky.
Yeah.
Because that's who he is. So they just blew the whole thing. They're, again, changing intention and motivation and character just because he wanted to do something PC.
So the problem is some people have issue with the fact that it was changed.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you know one that was backtracked as well was Spielberg replaced the guns in E.T.
With walkie-talkies.
And then switched it right back. Like, he
went
regretted
back?
that immediately. Yeah. The version I saw just a couple years after that whole thing had it returned.
Hey guys, I'm on Wikipedia right now looking up Nien Nunb. Were you aware he had a career after Return of the Jedi?
I did not.
Hey, let me play you some clips from his page here of him and other. Here, did you know he was in Swingers?
No, I want to hear.
I've seen that movie.
310. So how long do I wait to call? So 2 days. Got 2 days. 2 days is like industry standard. Yeah, but 2's enough not to look anxious. Well, how long are you guys going to wait to call your babies? Days.
Wow, it's just like he's
that's
one of the
wonderful.
guys.
He went uncredited in Scream.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if you were aware of that.
Hello? Who's this? Why do you want to know my name? Nah, I don't think so.
Fantastic.
Shit.
That guy's got some range.
He also, and this is the last one they have. I guess he must have stopped somewhere. After we got into the 90s. But back in the 80s, he was also in Say Anything.
Oh.
Were you aware of that?
So, Lloyd, you graduated Lakewood, right? What are you going to do now?
Yeah, Lloyd. What are your plans for the future? Seriously, Lloyd.
That's awesome.
That is fantastic.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So George Lucas, he finds talent. He knows it when he sees it. Actually, I should give full credit to Kipsang Rotich was the name of the dude who did the voice. Mike Quinn did the puppeteering work, and Richard Bonehill was the suit player, respectively.
It only took 3 people.
It only took 3 people. A guy in there moving around like this, someone else moving the mouth up and down, and a guy, days later or weeks before going,
three times the people at Comic-Con to sign autographs, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We can get all 3 on one, 8
You
by
think
10.
Mike Quinn doesn't show up at Monster Palooza or whatever and go, it's Nien Nunb. I'll sign that shit. $20. I mean, there's $60 right there for the 3 of these guys, just for Nien Nunb. But, all right, well, we got a big finale here we want to go out on. Unless you got any more other crazy stories you want to tell us?
Oh, yeah. Anything?
No.
I have one thing I want to say because you were the phantom editor.
Oh, we never even really got into that as much.
Please explain
for
that.
anybody who doesn't know.
Well, for Lee, could we explain it?
For Grandpa Caius.
There was our guest tonight provided the greatest sigh of relief following the Phantom Menace because
Sigh of relief. The phantom sigh of relief.
The Phantom Menace was this movie you wanted to like more than you could, or want to like more than you can, and so. Oh yeah, go ahead and so how did you solve the problem?
The idea was that I moved here, and it's just a VHS tape, and losing my voice, and it was $49 if you wanted to buy it when it came out, and it was so popular it was selling for 99 cents a few months later. So I bought that for 99 cents at Record Town and just set with a home computer editing system, and as an exercise started taking little pieces and re-editing it the way George Lucas that we know of would have made those movies.
No, wait,
American
I think
Graffiti, George Lucas.
Mike had once told me that George Lucas kind of had a recipe for how he thought a movie should be made and had really strict guidelines, and you just followed his own guidelines, which he didn't do, right?
Yeah, his philosophies that you had read about, and he also used to re-edit other guys' movies. He would take a work print of them, he would cut them and say, "Hey, Paul, your movie, it's really good, but I think you should do this with it," and they would project them for him, and he started it, and so I just kind of thought, well, he'll think this is cool, but he didn't.
Did you get a letter or a?
Well, no. At first, it would be like I'd give it to somebody, and they just took it and showed their friends, and they started having parties in Hollywood where people would go and watch this, and then I started getting emails from strangers saying, "Hey, I saw it at this guy's party," and then I got one from New Zealand, and I realized it was going all over the place, and then months later, it got on the internet, and then he heard about it in an MTV Awards. He asked, "Oh yeah, I've heard about it. I really want to see it." And that's when it got really big. Oh. So
So has he seen it?
And this was before Twitter and Facebook and all that,
Yeah.
so it would have been huge today.
That's unknown. I mean, they sent him a copy. It came from me. It went to him. They asked me to write a letter to him, and I did. They sent it to him, and the reporter said to me, all I know is at Lucasfilm, they made VHS copies of what you sent so everybody could take it home and watch it. The next day he came in, and they said, hey, what'd you think of it? And people were like, it's pretty good. And he went, oh, yeah. Copyright infringement. Like, it made a whole big deal. Yeah.
So did you get a letter? Did you get some guys in some suits following you home? Or
I was only contacted.
cars driving slowly by your house?
Stormtroopers at the door.
That would be so great. Oh, that would be awesome.
I'm confused. So nothing ever came of it?
Nothing. I guess the idea was there were other things going on with Clear Play, and I had mentioned this to you about they were re-editing movies to make them G and PG from R-rated movies.
For Utah.
Yeah.
Blockbuster in
like
Utah.
Titanic
It's
and
true.
stuff, cutting out all that stuff. And so you would rent Titanic, but you would get the G version of it. And the directors...
No Winslet
Walmart
boobs.
does that too.
Yeah, and the different directors, ones that I'm very inspired by, were all sitting together in a room saying, we don't like this because people think we're doing this. It doesn't say at the beginning that this is an edited version of the film. And so whenever they had those press releases, they just kept putting my name and the Phantom Edit in there as though this is the culprit behind this. And it was terrible to read all that stuff.
Now, have you ever gone back with modern technology and made this version again with, studio quality? No?
Only with the DVD. And that was so I could put a commentary on it and explain. People go, hey, why'd you do this? Or what's different? And I did that, and then that's it. I don't revisit it.
So do you have a master copy of this somewhere?
Sort of, yeah.
We're going to get the special edition where you change all the things you changed.
Yeah.
That would be a great idea.
Oh, that would be funny.
The 17 versions of Mike Nichols. Yeah.
He pulls out another container just full of all his revisions.
We know it's that idea that if you could go back and look at your yearbook and redo the outfit and the hair that you're doing, it's not really a representation of what you were looking like then. It's just you're redoing it now. And I mean, that's kind of what happened at that time, and leave it that way.
You just made me very depressed. My picture was horrible.
What Lucas should have done was just looked at all those old movies, say, I'd like to change those. So instead, I'm going to make a great movie right now.
Right.
And he never did that. He never went out and made another great movie. You just want to see him. It's like, forget all the Star Wars, forget all the everything. Just go direct some great movie, or fail at it, or try at least.
It would be cool if he would do that.
Yeah.
And right now he's doing that museum thing, which I do think is neat. He has a collection. He has lots of. It's in San Francisco. He owns lots of Norman Rockwell paintings, the originals, and a collection of things like, to him, here's a record, kids. Do you want to come and see it and touch it in person? He has a museum where you can go through and look at all this stuff that he says he feels is being lost.
Oh, wow.
And they're petitioning for the San Francisco to give him the land in order to. He can pay for it. They just need to give him permission to put a museum on it.
Do you think Nien Nunb will be in there?
Nien Nunb Museum, yeah.
Do you think his name is ever kicked around for anything, though? Like, hey, we're going to make Ender's Game. We should give it to George Lucas, see if he wants to take a swing at it. Do you think he turns down stuff, or does he just never make anything?
That's a really
and
good
it kind of is just
kind
his
of a
own,
victim of his own success.
He goes out to a project. Did they ever come to him? Yeah,
Oprah went to his ranch.
Thank you, honey.
Now, I would like to say,
ta-da!
Is he a Scientologist?
That's what I was getting at.
Brought it back around.
I'm just saying.
Now, I would like to say one last thing about the Phantom Menace, because the Phantom Menace is responsible for, I think, the most exhilarating moment I've felt. Like one of those moments of exhilaration where all your hairs stand up on your neck and you just like feel kind of uber alive. And that moment was, now you got to go back to a time before we knew that the Phantom Menace was a disappointment. Right?
Right.
So it was all lead up. And it was that morning we just talked about. And all of my friends and everybody. And we're in the theater. And, we're in the theater an hour ahead of time. And everybody's got their lightsabers. And it is a party. It's the Lollapalooza of Star Wars. Yeah. And so we are there. And we are as excited as you can get since Return of the Jedi, since the opening night of that, to see this movie. And it's Star Wars. And it was something that was going to go away forever. In 83... it was gone forever.
Mm-hmm.
They were never going to make another one of those.
That's why I was sad.
And they made the Timothy Zahn books, and everybody goes, these are going to be the new movies. And then they didn't make movies for a long time, and those books went away, and they made other books, and they're crappy books. And so Star Wars was gone. And then finally one day you heard he literally was shooting a new Star Wars. Impossible to believe. Don't even buy it. Here's photos. Don't buy it. I don't believe it. I've spent so much time having no Star Wars in my life and knowing that's never going to happen again, right? This is just my perspective as a Star Wars fan. And then they showed that trailer on Entertainment Tonight, and holy shit, it was real. It existed. I mean, that was exhilarating in itself. So then you get to...
I remember doing a review of that. I reviewed the trailer. I remember. Yeah.
That movie was extremely exhilarating, but it was nothing to compare to that moment at 9 a.m. or whatever when, after all this, and everybody's in the theater, and now everyone is buzzed and has to get quiet. And there's trailers, and we're all excited in trailers, and then it comes to that moment where it says Lucasfilm. It actually says on the screen, Lucasfilm Limited. And everybody has to get quiet. I mean, everyone cheers that part. And then I had my tape recorder on me at the time, and here's what you heard. So everybody cheers, Lucasfilm Limited. Yes, it's actually here. It's actually here. And then everybody knows to get quiet. We have got to get quiet in time for the Star Wars crash. And you hear the theater go, I'm so excited. And then you hear all these voices go, shh, shh, shh. And then dead silence, this extremely excited crowd, dead silence for a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. And everybody wants to get all excited, but the electricity dies down to this like quiet. And then, and you should hear this theater scream, the scream of pure joy of everybody shouting at once. Like we planned it.
As if we planned that.
Wow.
I agree with you.
I was excited to tell that story because I got myself all excited while telling it. But that exhilarating moment when Star Wars came on the screen for the first time in how long, and it was real, and we were all there, and we were all so excited. That was like, I don't. Yeah. What can ever compare to that?
Yeah, that's the greatest.
J.J. Abrams movie, I'll be pretty excited, but that. Yeah. There's just still no approaching that ever will again. And yeah, the movie was disappointing.
And there'll be no 20th Century Fox logo at the beginning.
Oh, just Lucasfilm straight up?
I don't know.
Or Disney?
Don't know.
What would
get the little Tinkerbell flying across?
I have no idea what it's going to be.
Touchdown?
It'll be probably a knockoff of the 20th
It'll probably
century.
be nothing. That's my thought. I bet you there's some sort of contractual thing. It's like, no, Lucasfilm, and that's all you get to put there.
Wow. 20th Century Fox didn't have any sort of deal made, so
know.
like even though you sell, we're still in there.
Even that score goes right into the Star Wars music.
Boom,
yeah.
Boom, boom.
Crazy.
What if they have to buy the rights to the 20th Century Fox score so that they can have that before the Star Wars?
Disney, they'll pay it. Shit. All right. Well, speaking of music, let's go out with the with a great song from Return of the Jedi.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm going to hand out lyric sheets for everybody.
Now you're making the case for the special editions because this probably doesn't really need to be heard.
I'll share.
This was cut out of this special edition, and we're gonna take you home with
they turned it
an
into
Ewok
Enya.
song, the Ewok song from the end of Return.
Is
of the
this how
Jedi.
you spent your afternoon?
Here, let me share.
Writing
this.
out.
Did you type this out? Is this written somewhere?
That's-
Well, the internet.
Wait,
find
there's
that
the
on the web.
English version.
You can find that anywhere on the web. Sing the English version if you like.
I've never seen the English version.
I don't know. It goes, Paul, you do it.
It's not karaoke, so it's sing along with the
stupid,
Ewoks.
too.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, this English version is stupid.
Oh wait, we
I don't think so.
Humanity, galactic fling, oh how,
Yup, yup.
each up,
Yup.
Let's go, Dick.
Otto, Mitokichi, galactic fling, oh
That's ridiculous.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are the Movie Guys.
Celebrate the power.
Follow us on Twitter
Celebrate
Movie
the
Guys.
glory.
Facebook
Celebrate the love.
at Facebook.com/The Movie Guys. I can't concentrate. Follow us on YouTube, iTunes, SoundCloud, Vine, Instagram,
that
Google
we
Plus,
can be free.
LinkedIn, all that shit.
Time
Whatever the
to
fuck, it's tiring to follow. Thanks to Mike J. Nichols, David Beach, and of course Steve Schultz, who's always behind the scenes with great writing. It's starting to rain.
Celebrate the
It's starting to rain, fellas.
Celebrate the light.
And remember, you can always find us at themovieguys.net. Thanks for listening.
You know, this is a kind of like the real love, honey.
Celebrate the love.